Welcome to the Docker series. In this video, we are going to see how to install a Microsoft SQL Server on a Docker container and how can you access that. The first step, download the Microsoft SQL Server image from the Docker Hub. And once you download the image or you pull the image from the Docker Hub, you're gonna run the image and create a container. Then the third step we are going to do, install a Microsoft SQL Server client. It's a command line interface to access the SQL Server. MS SQL CLI to access SQL Server. Let's see the first step, downloading the Microsoft SQL Server image from the Docker Hub. Let's go to a Docker Hub. Yeah, I'm on the home page of the Docker Hub. I'm going to search for Microsoft SQL Server. And this is the command that you can pull. Copy the command. Let's go to the terminal. Before I run the command, let me show you what are the images I have in my file. See, I have only one image, that is Jenkins. Now I am going to pull the SQL Server image. Let me run this. See, I am taking the latest version. While this image is getting downloaded, let's see the usage of this, how to use this. If you look at here, like you have the different versions are available, 2017 latest or 19 latest, and if you want on the Ubuntu 16.04, you can take all these different images. How to use this image, and this command we need to run to create a container. It's a Docker run, and you're going to accept the EULA. You need to provide -e, accept EULA y, and SA password. By default, the username would be SA for this, and SA password, you can provide your password here. Make sure you provide a strong password, and on what port this particular connection is going to establish, you need to provide the port. You can give 1433 and -d. This is the database, the image that whatever you just right now pulled, so you can provide that particular image. Here it is 2017 CU8 and Ubuntu, so I'm going to copy till here because I'm taking the latest version. But whereas the same command, if you are running on a Windows machine using the PowerShell, instead of a single quote, you need to use a double quotes. See, here you have like a password. All these are inside the single quote, and you need to provide them a double quotes when you are on the Windows machine using the PowerShell. Now see, our image is pulled, and let's see whether the image is available. See, we have two images. Earlier one only Jenkins was there, and now we have a two Jenkins and Microsoft SQL Server. Now we have the image, and we are going to run that image. Paste, and when we download this particular image, I picked out the latest version, so I'm going to put :latest, so that it will not download any other image. Now whatever the image we pulled from the Docker Hub, we are going to run that, and make sure you provide your password here. I'm going to give Suresh@123 is my password. If I run this, we are going to see a container created. Okay, this ran successfully. Now Docker ps, we can see this particular SQL Server is running on this machine. It's created 7 seconds ago. Status is up 6 seconds. So this particular server is running on my Docker container. Now let's verify whether this particular, let's try to connect to this particular server and see whether are we able to access the database or not. Before you access this, what is our next step? See, download the Microsoft server image from the Docker Hub is completed, and run the image and create a container by providing your own password. And the second step is done. The third step, install MS SQL CLI to access the server. That is, it's the command line interface. We need to download the command line. We need to install actually the Microsoft SQL Server command line interface to access. To install the MS SQL CLI, we need to run these steps. You can install a pip first, and then you can upgrade, and then you can install the MS SQL CLI. If you run these commands, first three commands, you can see the MS SQL is installed. Let me show you. To check that whether I have my because I have already installed the CLI MS SQL CLI H. See, when I run that, I can see all the commands and the help related to the CLI. So which means MS SQL CLI is already installed, but if you run these first three commands, and you would be able to install MS SQL CLI in your machine. Once after you run these three commands, you can run MS SQL CLI space -h to make sure whether the command line interface is installed or not. In my machine, it's already installed, so I'm not going to run. Once you have the command line interface, let me clear this. What you can do is, now we need to connect to the database. How you can connect? MS SQL CLI, and then you need to give -s, capital S, and you need to mention the server name, that is a local host. Since the container is on my machine, I'm going to use a local host -u. What is that? It's a password you need to provide -p, and I have given Suresh@123 is my password. Let me run this. See, it is connected to the server and it is on the master database. You can see here it is on the master database. Now let's run a query and see. Select star from sys.databases. Okay, see here, these are the different databases are available, and you are able to see. So which means you connected to the server through the command line interface. The same connection you can do it from the any client, that is like a SQL server. You can have the SQL server installed, or you can have an Azure Studio, and so that using the local host SCI is the username and password what you provided, you would be able to connect it using that. And if you want to switch, or if you want to connect to a specific database instead of the DB, I can show you. Okay. This is the Azure Data Studio, and I'm going to click a new connection because I'm connecting the new database here, the container. The server name is a local host, that is my container. Then my username is ISA, and password is Suresh@123. And see, now you connected to the server. These are the different databases are available. So click the master. Now see, these are all the tables that you have, and click new query. You can enter the same query here and see whether you receive the same result. We should be receiving the same. And see, you are seeing master, tempdb, model, and msdb. And this is how you can create a Microsoft SQL Server container, and you can connect to the server to query your SQL queries. Okay. Hope you understand the concept, and if you have any questions, please feel free to comment in the comment section. Thanks for watching the video.